Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Combat Zone. We've got the number one pound for pound bare knuckle fighter in the world and current BKFC middleweight champion who aims for his fourth title defense against Donald Sanchez this weekend at BKFC 75. It's the Redneck Dave Mundell. Dave, how are you?
I'm doing good, man.
I love it. Now, Donald rides a four-fight win streak into this matchup. Is there anything special or significant about him, or is this another day, different body?
Um, I mean, at the end of the day, it's another day, different body. He's tough. I say this in all my podcasts, but that's not really a compliment. I just see him getting hit a lot and being able to take the abuse. So I know that I'll be in for a war as far as I'm be hitting him a lot, but I just don't see him being on the same level as me and being able to find me.
Yeah. Okay, I like it. The durability's there, but defensive instincts not. 50 pro MMA bouts for him, six prior BKFC appearances. When you watch the tape on him, offensively, is there anything where you're like, okay, keep that in mind, or is it really just a zombie walking forward?
He likes to try to use the off timing. I like to call it. Like he'll try to, like, so to speak, lull you to sleep and then jump in there.
Hmm.
But as long as I stay focused on what I got going on, he's gonna run into one of these big punches.
I love it. Enemy territory, though, Dave. You're flying into Donald's backyard. How does this feel? I mean, it's not home for you.
You know, I guess it doesn't really matter to me. When I went over to Spain, it was kind of the same thing. I only had a handful of people there for me, but at the end of the day, the fans ain't gonna win in the fights. It's the time that I put into the gym and the level that I'm on that's gonna win me the fight. So.
If it makes you feel better, I felt that same way about Spain. Uh, now, Donald's called you arrogant. He claims that he's going to humble you, Dave. What's the root of his issue with you? Because I've never viewed you as someone that's arrogant.
I feel like all these people, they got to make up anything they can to try
Mm.
to talk crap. I'm a very, low key guy. I let my fighting do the talking for me, and so these guys, they say whatever they can to, try to get amped about the fight. But I don't need to fight with any emotions. It's just a sport to me. I just go out there and I love to do it. So. He also said something about, like, looping punches behind the ears and it's worked for him or something. I don't know. It's kind of silly, but
He's
we're
reaching.
yeah, but that's all they can do.
Have you ever interacted with him before? He's been in the promotion for some time, you as well. Has there ever been any overlap between you guys?
I mean, I've seen him a few times at some of the events,
Hmm.
but other than that, no, not really.
You've been with BKFC since BKF 6 in 2019, quite some time now. How have you seen this company evolve the last couple of years? It's certainly scaled out
Yeah,
dramatically.
I mean, it's taken off. It's the fastest growing combat sport out there right now, and I mean, the product sells itself. Essentially, everyone can relate to it. Back or for MMA, like, I am a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so I like and I understand the grappling side of things, but people who don't know or understand that, they look at it as boring. They don't know what's going on. But BKFC, everybody knows what it feels like to get hit in the face, and so
Mm.
it's just more exciting. The shorter rounds, it pushes the pace and it just makes everyone, go for the finish. People like that, so it's no wonder why it's growing so fast.
What was sort of the reaction from family and friends when you let them know, hey, I'm going to be transitioning to bare knuckle in 2019?
Everyone loved it. And I've always been a fighter growing up. I always got into my fair share of scraps coming up through high school and stuff like that. So it's just, it was inevitable.
Fair. And listen, we'll talk about the arrest at 11 years old. We'll get to that. But before we do you ever see yourself going back into the mixed martial arts waters or maybe another glove boxing bout? Like you mentioned, you've got the BJJ black belt, you have all the skills. But is it just purely bare knuckle moving forward?
I mean, honestly, I don't see any other company taking as good care of me as the BKFC does, so I don't have any reason to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
If they wanted to set up some type of super fight or do something, and Dave Feldman himself was on board, I'd run it.
I'm curious now. There's been so many highlights and big moments, right? Main events in BKFC, but I kind of want to ask 2020, you had that night against Hector Lombard. How do you reflect on that fight? What sort of went wrong upon looking back on it?
All right, well, in the very first round, the very first exchange, I broke my left hand, so I wasn't able to throw any straight. So I was fighting him the rest of the time with just one hand.
Mm.
Um, so I did what I thought was enough to win just by controlling the pace, controlling the fight, not letting him get in, not letting him slug it out with me. And I mean, as you can see, I obviously frustrated him. He had to headbutt me. He had to try to hit me after the round, all this other stuff. And I honestly thought I won the fight. But losing it maybe was a good thing because it showed me or taught me, what they wanted to see in BKFC. They wanted to see the more aggression. They want to see, a little bit more of a brawl type fight. So it allowed me to, uh, put my effort that way for training and just kind of push for that.
Open up a new level for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Now, there's been so much back and forth with Mike Perry, right? Verbally, and you love going at him. I'm curious, when you fought him back in 2016, that was when both of you guys were much younger in your careers. How did that
Right.
matchup come about?
We fought twice. So which one you talking
Mhm.
about?
The 2016 one, the rematch, was that the second fight?
So the rematch, I don't remember
Sure.
exact dates. But the rematch, obviously from the first one, both times he got saved by the belt. I
Mhm.
dropped him in both. The first one, I dropped him twice. The second one, I only dropped him at the end of the round. But it's one of those things. Like I hate watching somebody who he's so garbage, But he was so tough. He is tough. He takes a beating. He's one of those guys who's very durable. And again, I've grown since, and I don't think he has. So I would love to run that one back. But the rematch, it just came about just from being two of the biggest hometown people. We both were undefeated at the time, so it just made the most sense. And just like kind of now at BKFC, we're two of the biggest names in the BKFC right now. Obviously, I want to fight him. The only reason why he wouldn't want to fight me is because he knows he'll lose. So, I mean, I'm just waiting for it to get set up.
Has there been conversation behind the scenes about actually getting this matchup together? Because it seems like
Absolutely.
Perry seems like MIA almost at the moment.
So I've been told a couple times he was going to be my next opponent, And then when I fought over there in Spain, talking to Connor, he was all about it, and he loved the idea. And hopefully, with him behind me, I can make the numbers happen, and it can come through. I would just love the chance to show everybody that he did.
He did. I remember there was one video where he's saying you were the one shooting for takedowns. That feels like a mischaracterization of your guys' fights, I think, right?
Yeah, but that go right back to it. Even if I was, I'm pretty. I mean, I did take him down in the fight, and that's ultimately what did my own self in. But BKFC, I can't do that. We're gonna sit there and we're gonna slug it out. And I'm so much better than he is, so much more smooth. He won't be able to hit me, and I'll keep touching him over and over again. I know he's durable, but I'll just paint a picture on his face, man. I'll slice him all up. So yeah, I think and then he'll probably be one of the ones that have to quit too.
Mm. What did you make of his fight with Jake Paul? Did you watch that one?
I called that from the beginning, man. Everyone thinks like Perry can box, which is I don't understand why. He wins in the fights in BKFC because of how tough he is, and he's able to dish back a little bit of punishment because he throws a lot of arm punches and he's strong.
Mm.
But boxing, when you got those gloves on, those arm punches don't do anything. You got to be able to, sit down on punches, shift your body the right way, and there's a lot more technique. And he doesn't have that, as everyone's seen. That's why he got beat up by Jake Paul. Granted, I do think Jake can box a little bit, but he is still
Mm.
brand new, So if you watch, like there's a few times things that Jake did that you could sit there and pick apart his technique as well. But I mean, he's way better than Mike is.
Hey, maybe after Donald Sanchez, it's time for Mike Perry. All right, let's take it to that arrest at 11 years old. You got into a fight, a kid threw a French fry at you, and you went and showed him the business. What was your family's reaction after that? Did the parents get called? I mean, this had to have been a pretty
Yeah, my
big
mom was
explosion.
mortified, she was I was in trouble for quite a while, but I just as a kid and the way I've always been is I don't take shit from anybody. I don't cause no problems. I don't bother nobody. I don't ever start
Mm.
anything, but I'm also not going to sit there and let you like trash me either. So that was just like the start of stuff, and it's crazy to me being 11 years old and like it's like my daughter. She's 11 now. I couldn't imagine somebody needing to arrest her for for anything.
Yeah.
Like he's a kid. Like what I don't understand what that shows. Like you just try to scare the other kids. Like it was stupid, but it was funny.
That was, I mean, it did seem excessive, right? You got handcuffed in the lunchroom. Is that what it was?
No, I think it was in the
Or,
classroom at the time because obviously everything had went down. Like that's the thing is like there was no
mm.
teachers around or anything. It happened. It was over. I only hit him one time, and then we all went our separate ways. Everything was done, and then of course after that, that's when they come walking in and pull me out of the room. But whatever.
He ratted. He ratted on it. He couldn't,
Of
there's no
course.
honor. I'm curious, did that prompt you to start training? What was sort of the inciting moment where you went, okay, I'm gonna get into combat sports now?
I guess I mean it was halfway through the wrestling season of my senior year. I know there was some heavier weight classes opened up that they didn't have any wrestlers for, and the coaches there were like, "You should come try it out." I had played football and stuff like that, so I went in there, and I mean I was just a natural at it, so that just kind of everything stemmed from that.
I love it. I love it. A couple random questions I wanted to toss at you. How did you meet your boxing coach, Jihad, I believe? Where did that meeting come from?
So I used to train with another guy. I think his name was Tim, and I faced a kid named Cam Taylor, and that's when I met Trey. Trey was in Cam's corner, and when we fought, I won that fight too, but like he had did some stuff and just like kind of threw off my game plan and listening to the corner instruction over there, I was like, I want to go see what this guy has, you know. So I went to go train with him. Even though I won the fight, I went to go
Yeah.
train with him. Like I want to see like what they know. And that's when I met Trey. And Trey or Martin Brown, as you guys know him, he also fought in the BKFC.
Mm,
He kind of like took me under his wing and we worked together and Jihad was his coach. So
okay.
eventually Trey's like, you know what, you need to see this guy, brought Jihad in, and then ever since then, like we just took off.
I love that you beat him up and you're like, now let me come train. Let me come get all these tricks that you have. Also, talked about Team Goon, man. Bill Goon feels like he's been a part of your journey for many years. Where did this begin and how has he impacted your life?
Uh, um, Same thing. Back when I trained with that dude named Tim, we had met at the gym. He was so our I guess training facility was inside of like a weightlifting gym. So he
Mhm.
was lifting weights and stuff, and I was training. He would see me. We would just shoot here and there. He'd come out to the fights, and now it's like he's my brother. So it just stemmed from that, and you know, that's my
I
ride or
love it.
die.
It's a hell of a name, man. Bill Goon. All right, couple random matchups, right? I saw you post a poster with Donald Cerrone in BKFC, wanting that matchup, Cowboy versus Cowboy. I love it. But what other dream matchups are there for you in bare knuckle?
I mean, right now I'm really just focused on that Perry fight, man. I want it, you know. Outside of that, I don't really care who they brought in. Anybody. I don't have any particular names. I don't even really watch, you know, UFC or BKFC unless I'm at one of the events. I just whoever they put in front of me, I've always just accepted. So, any of the big name people that's going to bring me the recognition and ultimately the money that I deserve, you know, I'm ready for it.
There you go. If dollars make sense. Has there ever been thoughts of going up, trying to get that double champ status? I know Josh
Oh
Dyer
yeah.
is currently the champion in the weight class above. Is that maybe
I,
potentially?
So originally, back before I fought Riki for the belt at 175, I wanted to go up to 185. The only reason why I didn't because we got Captain Deadpool, who's one of my teammates, and he fights at 85. So I would cut the weight and I'd stay down, and then he went out and took the belt, and now things it was, went through the people's hands a little bit. I would have no problem going back up to 185 and trying to take it there. My understanding, BKFC doesn't want double champs anymore. So if that's
Mm.
the case, and I had to relinquish the 175 to go up to 85, I would go that route. I have no problem doing that. Or if they want me to stay down here at 75 and they're gonna bring some people in for me to fight, again, anybody, anytime,
Yeah.
anywhere.
Whatever makes sense. Okay, last two questions. Part-time electrician, I believe. Talk to me about the balance between fighting and then filling the rest of the time and how you got into that trade.
Full-time electrician. It's me
Full
and my
time.
stepdad, or it's my stepdad's company, right? And obviously, I was younger, needed a job. He took me on board. I've always done side jobs with him. So I that it just, you know, that helped me pay for fighting because in the beginning we don't make no money. But it was tough, man. You know, I'd wake up super early. I'd have to cook all my meals for the whole day because I'd be out of the house all day long. I go to work. Right after work, go straight to go see my personal trainer. Right from there, I'd go straight to boxing, and then I wouldn't be getting home to super late. And I mean, it was just hard, you know, over and over again. But everything up until like maybe like a month and a half ago when I finally quit is I've accomplished everything I've had with that job, you know. Uh, it was tough, but I can't wait to see what not having to work does for me.
Did you ever foresee yourself getting to this point? Because so many fighters have that same, right, complete grind, and they don't get those dreams fulfilled. Now you're in that position where it is becoming a reality. Describe that feeling to me.
I mean, it's great, man. It was a little scary because I took a leap of faith. You know, I got to get another fight in by the end of the year, otherwise I'm gonna have to go back to work. But you know, it's something that I've worked my ass off for, and I decided it was just finally time. You know, I have to do it.
Absolutely love it. Last one, man. I believe your nephew's on the autism spectrum. Talk about how that empowers you and about how important it is to raise awareness for autism.
You know, a lot of people, I mean, even for autistic kids and just regular everyday people, people don't understand what other people are going through, you know. So it's just to me, it's just important because I don't like seeing people get aggravated with them or trying to rush them to do something or picking on them because they think they're different, whatever it is. So it's just an all around thing. Like I just don't like bullying in general. So it's just important to bring that up and get people to understand and realize what, you know, what they have going on. So they, you know, there's no need to cause no pain to them, no frustration. Like let them do their thing, and they're awesome.
Yeah. World could be a lot better with just a little bit more empathy, right?
Yeah.
I love it. Well, the number one pound for pound bare knuckle fighter aiming for his fourth middleweight title defense against Donald Sanchez this weekend at BKFC 75. Dave Redneck Mundell, thank you for the time, sir, and best of luck. I'm sure we'll chat soon.
Appreciate it, brother.